Hello, this is the fourth part in a chronological series, ADA, Americans with Disability Act, United States of America versus the City of Portland, PDX, dyslexia-friendly audio recording by Mary Eng, recorded under the suggestion of the campaign of Laura Elena Veron Vizcarra Vanderlyn to Rosenbaum Watson and City of Portland to have ADA compliance with a dyslexia-friendly format for the understanding and transmission of the settlement agreement, which was entered in December 2012. It is 4 years later almost, and I had volunteered a couple of months ago to make this, and this is kind of a trial to see how it reads. Structurally, I'm trying to keep these under 10 minutes, somewhere between 6 and 10 minutes, and approach it in bite-sized chunks. So we are resuming on page 12 of the 77-page document, which I host at scrib.com as Portland Police Brutality Proposed Settlement Agreement 12-17-12. And we will begin with section 44, Mobile Crisis Prevention Team, formerly Mobile Crisis Unit. Means the team of PPB, control officer and mental health caseworker who are specifically detailed to conduct outreach and response to persons with known mental illness or experiencing an actual or perceived mental health crisis with the goal of intervening with individuals before a crisis exists and to link the individual with community mental health services. 45. Non-disciplinary corrective action refers to action other than discipline taken by a PPB supervisor to enable or encourage an officer to improve his or her performance. 46. Passive resistance means non-compliance with officer commands that is non-violent and does not pose an immediate threat to the officer or the public. 47. Personnel means PPB officers and employees. 48. Police officer or officer means any law enforcement agent employed by or volunteering for PPB, including supervisors, reserve officers, and cadets. 49. Police Review Board, PRB, is an advisory body to the chief governed by Portland City Code 3.20.140. The PRB makes recommendations as to findings and proposed officer discipline to the chief, and I interject that the PRB is composed of 3 commanding officers who are 80% male, usually white, 1 member of IPR, the Independent Police Review, which reports to the city attorneys all their findings, and 1 citizen from a panel of citizens approved by the Portland City Council. Number 50. Policies and procedures means regulations or directives regardless of the name describing the duties, functions, and obligations of PPB officers and or employees and providing specific direction on how to fulfill those duties, functions, or obligations. 51. PPB Manual refers to PPB's Policy and Procedure Manual revised January 2009 and includes the most current edition and supplements thereto. And we are on page 13 of 77. 52. PPB unit or unit means any designated organization of officers within PPB, including precincts and specialized units. 53. Portland Police Data System, PPDS, is PPB's records management system that integrates officers' access to other agency systems such as LEDS, NCIC/ Roman numeral 3, DMV, DA crimes, ESWIS, and OJIN, CEG, PPB Manual 1226.00. Point 54, precinct refers to one of the service areas of PPB, which together cover the entire geographic area of the city of Portland. Each precinct is led by a precinct commander. 55, Probable cause means that there is a substantial objective basis for believing that, more likely than not, an offense has been committed and a person to be arrested has committed it. 56. PSD means the Professional Standards Division, the PPB unit charged with, among other tasks, conducting or overseeing all internal and administrative investigations of PPB officers, agents, and employees arising from complaints whose current duties are governed by PPB Manual 330.00. And we are on page 14 of 77 in the Portland Police Brutality Proposed Settlement Agreement arising from USA versus PDX. 57. Qualified mental health professional means an individual who has, at a minimum, a master's level education and training in psychiatry, psychology, counseling, social work, or psychiatric nursing, and is currently licensed by the state of Oregon to deliver those mental health services he or she has undertaken to provide. 58. Serious use of force means 1. All uses of force by a PPB officer that reasonably appear to create or do create a substantial risk of death, serious disfigurement, disability, or impairment of the functioning of any part or organ. Number 2. All critical firearm discharges by PPB officer. Number 3. All uses of force by PPB officer resulting in a significant injury, including a broken bone, an injury requiring hospitalization, or an injury deemed to be serious by an officer's supervisor. 4. All head, neck, and throat strikes with an object or carotid neck holds. 5. Force used upon juveniles known to be reasonably assumed to be under 15, and females known or reasonably assumed to be pregnant. 6. All uses of force by a PPB officer resulting in a loss of consciousness. 7. More than 2 applications of an ECW on an individual during a single interaction, regardless of the mode or duration of the application, regardless of whether the applications are made by the same or different officers, and regardless of whether the ECW application is longer than 15 seconds, whether continuous or consecutive. 8. Any strike, blow, kick, ECW application, or similar use of force against a handcuffed, otherwise restrained, under control, or in custody subject with or without injury. And 9. Any use of force referred by an officer's supervisor to IA that IA deems serious, and IA again is internal affairs. And I will stop here, and thank you so much for following along with page all the way to page 15 of 77 in the dyslexia-friendly reading of the USA v. PDX settlement agreement regarding police brutality. Thank you.